Greetings tankers, and welcome to Dr. Ferd's first ever serious tank review. We're going to take a deep dive into the nuts and bolts of the T30, the American turreted Tier 9 tank destroyer. We've gone to the Library of Congress to dig up every single fact about this beast. We're going to explain every weld, every bolt, every nut. Wait, did you say serious?
Look, you can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious!
No. This is just a game. It's not that serious. So we won't be gazing in wonder at this remarkable beauty as it sits in the garage. And I won't be pilfering really cool pictures of its development back in 1944 off the internet, ogling close-ups of the massive turret on this thing, or beating around the head with a collection of useless stats. Here's what you need to know about the T30. It has the T29 hull, which is okay at Tier 7, but really pretty inferior at Tier 8 and Tier 9. It has a massively armoured front turret, and it has this top gun with enormous alpha potential. It has a slow reload, but it's relatively mobile. And that's about it. Upgrade the crew with gold and get in the game with a fully upgraded tank. You put those attributes together and you've got yourself a TD that can really hold its own in choke points and hold down positions. Playing held down in the T30 will enable you to bounce shots off your turret while getting shots into more weakly armoured opponents. The entertaining part of driving a T30 is just the incredible amount of alpha damage you can unload with this 155mm top gun. The T30's gun depression is 10%. These are a couple shots off the back of the T30 from the hill in Middleburg into the town. Try doing that in your Jug Tiger. And the shock value of this thing can be profound. Here's a Comet having a particularly bad day. But this has got to be hands down the most spectacular feature of the T30. The ability to ammo rack Tier 8 and Tier 9 tanks is just hilarious. The T30 is in no way overpowered, it's just the first TD that you get in the game that has a dominant gun with a turret on a mobile platform. Unlike the painfully slow T28 prototype, the mobility of the T30 will allow you to keep up with the heavies, where you can perform second line service. The 3-second aiming time is fairly long, but you just don't end up spraying shots like you do in the Soviet TDs. The natural enemy of the T30 is of course the medium tank, but your added mobility means you'll survive many more of these encounters than you used to in the T28P. Did I mention this 155 is awesome? Okay, so that's the good news, Dr. Ferd. There's got to be some bad news here. Yeah, so mobility is better than the T28 prototype, which isn't hard, but you're not going to be fast enough to track down a medium to prevent a draw. If Tier 10 tanks see your hull armor, you're probably going to die. Being outnumbered and caught out of position in the T30 is generally not healthy. And this type of situation, yeah, not going to end well. So this is something different for me. We're going to show a whole game replay here. I'm tuned up with my pal Tex, who hails from some state out west somewhere. The enemy team is medium heavy with a Centurion, an Indian and a Comet, so we're thinking of heading to the dunes here, clearing the dunes, ruining their day before moving back in on the town. So why don't you show whole games, Dr. Ferd? Well, actually the dirty little secret of YouTubing is you get to pick and choose what you show, unlike the streamers who have to have it all out there in real time. You sit back here in editing programs and look at what you got and show the good stuff. There's a lot more bad stuff than good stuff when you're as mediocre as I am, so this is just one of those games where it all comes together. This game's got a little bit of everything. It's got everything, maybe, well, except ace mastery, so can't win them all, but this is just one of the good ones. So we're rolling out here in the dunes, and as expected the mediums have picked up each other. Their Comet is stuck down the middle and is making a nuisance of himself, whereas our 54 and T20 now have to deal with the Indian and the Centurion. I get a big shot there into the Indian to help out the T20, and I'm going to reposition on the reload here, except that, surprise, the 103 has decided to come out this side as well. But I can't get reloaded in time, so now I'm stuck in a little bit of no man's land. Having the 103 over here ought to make the fight in town a little bit easier, except I see that we have a hill sitter over there, so I commit to rolling forward to help out my teammate, hoping the guys in town will be more aggressive at clearing that out and getting on cap to force pressure on these guys that are out here. Except that it's not going so well. We've lost our two mediums, and techs are starting to get some pretty serious attention over there. I'm going to freeze it right here and talk about this situation for a moment. I've stopped in game with the hope of getting a shot at this Indian and getting his gun out of the game. I want the reload to happen while I'm repositioning. At the time, this went fairly well. That's my first kill, but it's a substantial mistake as well. I should have left that lightly armoured tank alone for later and kept rolling over to help my teammate. So by the time I get over here, he's in serious trouble with the 103 and the Centurion. My bad, Tex. I get a good shot into the 103 and then I back off for the reload. And now things are really bad. We're 2 tanks down and I have to face 2 T9s out here in the dunes. I know I should target the 103 first because he's the harder tank for me to pen. And I've punched Adrenaline to help with reload time and the added damage benefits. And I get some good luck here. The Centurion hits the dirt and I manage to take out 103. And now there'll be a face-off with the Centurion. I need to use my front turret armor and my gun depression to get a couple of good shots into him. His camo gets reset and we have a bit of a wait on either side of this rock until right there. The pop of exhaust smoke tells me he's coming up the hill.
We nailed him!
Yeah, 600 damage and back off and reload. Now he is going to get a shot in here, but I can finish him off. So now I can turn my attention back to town to get over there where the IS-8s have been duking it out and the IS has finally come down off the hill and gone after the Tiger P. The enemy T30's been lurking around the north side of town at the train tracks, but it's popped in and out off the map. Now the T30 is not one of these tanks where you line up against your opposite number and trade harmless shots. The T30 will do substantial amount of damage to its opposite number, so we definitely need to keep tabs of where that guy goes. But all in all, it's not looking too bad. A couple of big guns left on each side, 3 tanks remaining each. And here's where the terrible, no good, really bad day starts to happen. I've been spotted, no surprises there. I might have a shot on the Tiger P, but at the very same time, I'm all alone versus an IS-8, Tiger P and an unspotted T30. So it's to be death or glory. Did I mention this gun was awesome? So the IS-8's hanging out the other side of the tracks very conveniently next to one of the other great places for this T30 with its excellent gun depression and front turret. I plant one into his lower glaciers while he takes it out on the train carriage. And the T30 pops up and he's substantially damaged and he's not in a position to get a shot on me right at this moment. So I'm going to manoeuvre on this elevated area hoping to get a killing shot on the IS-8, but I don't quite have it and he gets a good shot into my turret. And that's an obvious mistake. I don't get the shot at him and at the same time I give the T30 a shot at me through the train tracks.
We're immobilized!
And that's nearly game over right there. But I made a game-changing decision at this point in time. I know that that T30 has got an extended reload time and I'm loaded and ready to go. So I'm hoping to deal with him first and deal with the IS-8 later. So I switch to APCR, fix the tracks, roll forward to try to get a well-aimed shot during his reload. Some helpful advice from the IS.
We finish him off!
And there's the 5th kill of the game, but I'm not counting because Adrenaline has given me the shakes. And there's still a very angry IS-8 who's out for revenge. So it's going to come down to who gets the shot, and he shot the bridge. And the good guys win. And I'm so jittery I can't drive straight. So it's a first class what? I demand a recount. Top Gun, Pool, Sniper, Crucial Contribution, Kolobanov's, Spartan and Avenger. 5,000 damage from 10 shots. And sorry Red Dog 66 in your Indian, that was me. You know it's not personal. And that is just a ridiculous award screen, at least for me. And that's it for this Dr. Ferd review of the T30, the Dirty 30. This tank is fun.